Alright, this video is about squatting. I meant to talk about this earlier, but squatting is something that's been a Achilles heels for me because for singles and doubles I can get really strong. I feel like I can do really well, but for long-term health I feel like it's detrimental to me for the very high percentage, very low reps, simply because I'm having some issues with my knee. And I know that if I start loading the bar, I don't build enough strength in my joints or my ligaments or my weaknesses, I'm going to end up blowing my knee, or I'm going to end up messing something up. Now, my problem is really not that big of a, I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not a nagging problem that much. I just know that I feel my left knee feels somewhat weak. There's a little bit of quadricep tendonitis in my left quad, and if I press on it, it's definitely a lot more tender, like I'm pressing on it now, compared to my right. And part of this is a little bit of the hypochondriac in myself and kind of my obsession with mobility WOD and flexibility and rehabilitation. But I'm aware that when I squat and I deadlift, my left leg does a significant amount of the work. And when the weight gets heavy, I will shift to the right. Why am I shifting to the right? Because my left leg is pushing more. It's pushing harder. So I need to kind of correct that. So what I'm going to be doing today in my squat routine is I'm going to focus on just trying to get even, taking a little bit of wider stance, focusing on strengthening my hips even more, so that way my knee doesn't bother me. A lot of the time I will wear a knee wrap in training only because there's only two reasons. One, my knee starts to bug me. I start to feel little shocks because I get those on occasion. Second reason is if I'm doing 90% or more. That's typically when I wear a knee wrap. But my goal is to not wear a knee wrap at all for 90% plus. Only when I get to a point where my knee starts to bug me just a little bit. It's kind of like a safety precaution. If you saw some previous videos, actually my last video, I've uploaded Tuesday, it was just me doing some snatches, and I was just doing 65 pounds, very, very lightweight. The one thing I know that my body's sometimes not good at is transitioning very quickly, eccentrically into the bottom of like an overhead squat or into a snatch position on the bottom. So that's kind of what I like to use the knee wraps for, sort of basically a cheap knee sleeve. And again, a lot of reason why I don't use knee sleeves is because they're expensive, 90 bucks, and I'd rather, like, I bought the Reebok powerlifting shoes, or the FTR lights, and I'd rather have those than the knee sleeves. The knee sleeve is not something that I really need right now, and I would prefer to practice squatting raw without knee sleeves or wraps. I want to get to a point where I can squat a considerable amount of weight without those apparatus. Apparati, I guess it's a plural. Anyways, that's my thoughts on squatting. I'm gonna focus on evening things out, and I'll kind of report my progress as I move things along.